Mom guilt is real, and I think I can understand more and more about it now. So it's just that being not so hard on myself is what is working for me, and yeah, everything else will fall into place. If not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then in a few days. Not knowing what exactly digital marketing is, I just applied because I wanted to do something with fast pace, and I got into it. I did not know how digital advertising works, what is performance marketing, and all of that. But I just wanted to try something new. The e-commerce landscape or the digital businesses actually focus a lot on just driving traffic, but the focus on learning who the audience is, what is their behavior like, why they are behaving the way they are behaving, why they are not buying, why they are buying, and all of these things were less spoken about. Very few companies or businesses out there have the capacity to give for the learning aspect of CRO. They don't understand that it is an ongoing learning mechanism when it comes to CRO. Experimentation is called experimentation for a reason. We are not here to deliver only winners, right? Your average conversion rate of the website and the experimentation are not directly correlated, and there are n number of other variables which impact your average conversion rate, and only experiments is not going to factor them and make them flow and go upwards. If I'm focusing today on the work, it should be fine if I have to deprioritize other things. If I'm focusing on one thing, some other thing will be left behind to some extent or the other. So this is the daily struggle of us, as especially mothers and mompreneurs, so to say. I think it's the acceptance that life is going to be imperfect and it is fine.
Welcome to another episode of the Women in CRO series by VWO Podcast. This series is an ode to the contribution of women in the CRO industry. Before we speak to our special guest for this episode, here's a quick summary of who we are and what we do. VWO is a leading experience optimization platform that helps fast-growing brands optimize their digital experiences. Using our latest product, VWO Insights, you can understand user journeys and identify conversion roadblocks on your website and mobile app. So, without any further delay, let's jump right into the conversation.
Hello, listeners and viewers. In today's episode, we have pleasure of introducing Jyoti, founder of VWO, a CRO agency in France that uses data-driven strategies to elevate website CRO. Jyoti is a visionary strategist and trailblazer in the realm of e-commerce growth and revenue optimization, with a dynamic career spanning across prestigious roles and companies. Jyoti has left an incredible mark on the industry through her innovative approach and dedication in driving business success. Join us as we uncover Jyoti's journey, insights, and invaluable contributions to ever-evolving world of CRO. Hi, Jyoti. Welcome to the Women in CRO series of VWO Podcast.
Hi, Jinal. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you for
That's
having
great.
me.
Thanks. We too are glad to have you as our speaker today. How's your day going so far? Any interesting highlights that you'd like to share?
The day so far has been great. Interesting highlight of the day so far is nothing to do with work as such, but with respect to um, the crush of my baby who decided to change their time. And of course, I'm thinking, okay, how I'm going to manage it. So this is my highlight of the first half so far.
Great, great. I would love to know, what were your initial thoughts, like when you received the invitation to be featured on podcast?
I think I was really happy to see that there is a series of podcast focusing on women in the experimentation and CRO space. This is very very interesting because, of course, like any other field out there, the diversity has to be there and needs to be focused upon. And I'm really glad that you are putting the spotlights on the women group in this space. So it's amazing.
That's interesting. And what emerging technologies or trends you're excited about?
I think after 2022, when ChatGPT and all started, after that, we have been seeing a surge in personalization and AI related tools and technologies, right? I believe this is going to be, this will grow like anything in the coming years. And, and yeah, I think AI and personalization is something which will change the course of how we have been shopping, how we are consuming content, everything digital.
Yes. And it would also help others in like digitizing their copies, and it would give a personal flavor to all the copies. And I think it would ace copywriting work as well. Definitely, it would not replace the actual person, but then it would also help us think in that direction.
Absolutely. So, when it comes to AI and personalization, of course, it is not going to remove the human intelligence out of it, but it will help all of us reduce the manual effort behind any activity. And all of us now can really be the directors of the outcome that we want with the personalization and AI tools out there, right? Especially in the CRO and experimentation space where we are so heavily into A/B testing and all of these tools out there. I think that that day is not far in which websites optimize themselves with the data that they are collecting, bits and pieces, elements of the website. So we wouldn't have to A/B test a hero banner of the website anymore. The website itself will optimize and segment that, okay, this is the version, this is the combination which is working for a certain segment of audience, and a different version which is working for a different set of audience.
So it would just work as an assistant in our CRO initiatives, and like it would elevate or it would remove some of the initial work that we do, and it would just be a helping hand in our journeys.
Exactly. I think so. So I'm from the performance marketing background as well. So I know back 5, 6 years back when Google launched a smart shopping campaign or a performance max campaign or a smart search campaigns and all of those. And in those campaigns, actually, what you have to do is, so it removed the requirement of putting manual keywords in your campaigns. You just feed the engine the some combinations of the headlines, some options of the descriptions, and that's about it. System itself sees the best combination corresponding to the relevant audience, and it optimizes its performance on its own. So something like this is what I think is not very far from happening. And of course, we as CROs will be able to focus much more on the advanced side of experimentation and testing, and these things will fall into the basics and the basic expectations of the optimization, which will be enabled through this technology.
Correct. Definitely. That would be like a helping hand, and it will make our jobs little bit easy and like help us elevate in a different direction.
Absolutely.
All right. Then what I would like to know, like what inspired your career in A/B testing and conversion rate optimization, and like how has your journey been?
Oh, wow. So I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification, and within an year I got to know that, okay, my core field was not suiting me well. I got placed into a very big 100-year-old MNC, and of course it had its own processes, etc. It was not very interesting for me, to be honest. And this was back in 2013-14, and everything digital was super new in the Indian ecosystem at that point of time. Some digital agencies were emerging, focusing on ads, especially at that point of time. So I, not knowing what exactly digital marketing is, I just applied because I wanted to do something with fast pace, and I got into it. I did not know how digital advertising works, what is performance marketing, and all of that. But I just wanted to have try something new. So that's when my digital journey actually started. And after working in the performance marketing side, growth side of the brands, etc., I realized that the e-commerce landscape or the digital businesses actually focus a lot on just driving traffic to their website. And while doing that, we used to also consult about, okay, no, but this aspect is broken on your website, or this is something which is not matching, the relevancy is breaking, etc. But still, I felt that there's a lot that needs to be done on the website, but the focus is purely on the return on ad spends. Every time the client side, the brand is focusing on, okay, what is your ROAS, what is your ROAS, but the focus on learning who the audience is who is visiting on your website, what is their behavior like, why they are behaving the way they are behaving, why they are not buying, why they are buying, and all of these things were less spoken about. And so eventually it did not happen in one day. I switched some brands, I switched into some agencies, and this was my ongoing observation, what was happening, what as a pattern I observed what is happening in the industry. And that's when I came across CXL, and obviously I was already looking at the website analytics side of things, tried to initiate these things within my own organization's respective organization. And that's how I paved my way and diverged from marketing, performance marketing, and of course, pre click journeys to post click journeys. So that's how it happened. And for the last 4 or 5 years, then I have been focusing more and more towards CRO and experimentation, what we say today. And yeah, this has been like this.
It has been wonderful start and like the current journey that you have just shared. I think it would just inspire many more, and it would also help them understand that why there's a need of CRO and how it also like just came to your mind and today where you are on that. Like, given your expertise in e-commerce optimization, what do you think e-commerce brands often miss in CRO? Like, are they too focused on instant results or any other thoughts which you have like had?
I think, as per my experience, of course, there are different type of businesses out there, but largely speaking, what I think that very few companies or businesses out there have the capacity, um, or the bandwidth that they want to give for the learning aspect of CRO. They do want results like quickly, and of course they don't understand that it is an ongoing learning mechanism when it comes to CRO. Experimentation is called experimentation for a reason. We are not here to deliver only winners, right? And that losers are also a type of winner, I would say, because they lead us to the next test of iteration, next set of test, and what really is not working for your audience and all that. So I think this is the gap which is there, where we need to spread the awareness and educate the businesses on why it is really important.
Like you said that losers are also gold mines, so I agree on that, that mainly losers or maybe the test that doesn't win gives us a different insight that how we should look at and consume our further results, and maybe little more refined design and approach helps us go there. But yes, that should be a source of inspiration to continue with the experimentation rather than just looking for the win rate of each program.
Exactly. And one more thing on this front is that businesses, of course, the name itself, CRO, is now not enough to, justify what all it entails in the scope of CRO. But conversion rate optimization, a lot of businesses really focus on just one metric of conversion rate on because of this experimentation program, right? And after 3 months or a 6 month period, they will be like, okay, but my overall average conversion rate has not seen an uptick. Like, what is the point of your winners, etc., that you guys are delivering, right? So this is also a common pet. This might be a pet peeve for all the businesses out there, but again, this is a gap in the education, that your average conversion rate of the website and the experimentation are not directly correlated, and there are n number of other variables which impact your average conversion rate, and only experiments is not going to factor them and make them flow and go upwards. So this is also something there.
Yes, I think they should also look around the other metrics that improves, like the engagement and reduction in the bounce and in between funnel journey. That those who are not moving till product page, I think they move somewhere, and though we are not able to hit the needle in case till the revenue, then at least there was some movement till product page to add to cart or some other. So I think those insights and that level of education still needs to be percolated in each and every member of the team in order to get the buy-in that yes, apart from winners, the test that doesn't win and all the targets are all like integrated with each other. How do you see consumer behavior changing, and how should e-commerce brands prepare and other brands as well?
um how the consumer behavior is changing, is about to change again, circling back to the same point of personalization and I believe users are going to expect less and less friction when it comes to finding the right product for themselves. Already, what all brands we have worked for, we have identified that, especially for e-commerce brands, it is already a biggest problem of able to find the right product. Product discovery in itself is a big problem on the e-commerce websites. And of course, so far people were the brand side, the what was being found as a solution in this scenario was related to, let's say, search or tags or navigation or quiz and stuff like that. But moving forward with AI and all, and of course there are already some emerging technologies related to it, I think the behavior will shift in a way that they would want things to happen like how fast ChatGPT is, how fast Perplexity is, in order to get anybody any information. I believe some sort of that level of smoothest and the fastest touch point journey will be expected by the users. I'm still waiting for the technologies emerging on that front, but I think product discovery, how people are navigating and able to find the right product, their expectations and their innovation is going to happen there for sure.
It would need little bit evolution, and like considering the usage of chat gpt and AI has also like bounced, and it has just like it is going to increase further. So definitely we'll have to like meet their demand and understand that now the audience would also be well aware about the offerings and the competition and all that.
Exactly. Recently, I came across a tool. It's a PDP GPT sort of an AI tool, which essentially can answer anything about a product if you want to ask. So basically, a user wouldn't have to skim through the descriptions or the accordions or any other information present on the page or on the website. They can simply ask that, okay, why should I buy this product, or how is it different from the competitors, or what are the specifications exactly, like a chat gpt itself. And it's a very new product in the market. I'm not able to recall the name, but it has already started, the industry is working towards it already, so I'm sure this is going to be a game changer.
Yes, it would be another helping hand of reducing the friction through content, and like it would just help us like Alexa does in daily life.
Yeah, exactly.
How has your optimization approach evolved? Is there anything that you unlearned?
Interesting. I think over time, what I'm learning more and more is that velocity matters to the businesses, right? They won't be happy with just running two experiments a month. They want to move fast. So, what I have observed is that, and what I have learned by unlearning, that not everything needs to be A/B tested. In the audit, when we create a roadmap, we have started identifying different buckets of things which are must do's, and not necessarily that they need to be tested. And there has to be some other things which should come into the criteria of worth testing, right? And they should be depending upon the hypothesis or the type of solutions which we are thinking or are available or have the capacity to change the behavior of the users, like that. So I think for me, this has been the main thing, that not everything needs to be tested. And Of course, in this way, what we are able to do is that the bold changes which we want to do, and of course, depending upon the problems that we are able to uncover during the audit, we carefully segment things which can be directly implemented and things which should be tested. So it is an overall optimization program in that sense, and we are able to do much more for the businesses than just doing A/B testing.
Could you share a project or achievement that you are particularly proud of even today?
There are many, actually. I'm proud of. But yeah, one project that I'm really, really proud of is our client called Dan Henry. They sell vintage watches. The founder himself is a has been a watch collector, and he himself designs the watches inspired by the previous decades and all of that. So the project, actually, we have been working with him for more than 1.5 years now, and what we realized, that each watch that he comes up with, he launches, is inspired by some element of, let's say, 60s or 70s or something like that. While the website is super sophisticated and carries a luxury experience, we found that there was a potential, if so, because they had started running meta ads on them. So what we realized, that we can actually talk about the story louder than what it was right now. So we presented to them a landing page proposal, and we worked on a landing page for their one of the new launches that they have. In On the landing page, we curated the story and the watch collection together. Like, it was blending in so well that the entire inspiration of the watch, the story behind it, was coming across as a very in the form of a lot good visuals, in a very visual, with a balance of content and everything, and product was also being injected. So essentially, what we were able to do is, the user did not have to go dive into the words to really understand, okay, why this watch is special and what is the story behind it, right? We were able to show them visually, and of course, complemented with the text as well. It was an immersive experience of on the landing page itself. A lot of scrolly telling was happening, not only storytelling but scrolly telling, a lot of animations and very interesting stuff we had done. And because of the nature of the brand, which it was like that, the collection itself worked better than any other collection launched previously. And we dedicated our ads to drive to that landing page, and it performed amazingly well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the time we think about, okay, what is the pain point in the research? We focus on the problem areas and this and that, UI, UX. Okay, what motivates people, what does not motivate people? But this was a very subtle hint which we could not come across in our regular audit, about the importance of story. Because if you were to go through the reviews of, let's say, who bought those vintage inspired watches, nobody will tell that, okay, I bought this watch because this was inspired by the military of 1970s. Nobody will say that, right? They will talk about the product, but that
Agreed.
story of military on the landing pages. So it was a very subtle hint which we chose to, take a bold risk on and create that landing page. It was very interesting, which did not come across very directly in the audit or in the research. So this was very interesting.
It was a creative storytelling because, like you mentioned, scrolly, scrolly telling. I'm
Right.
not able to even pronounce that, but yes, it did make me think that is it something story or story, but then it just like made me understand that yes, that's what you are telling, that animation and the story creation, not about animation, but animated story. That's how it just helped. That
Right.
sounds really interesting. Like I've not heard about something like this in past. So I think this is really interesting that how you just had that. embodiment of the stories into that landing page.
Yeah, so I have worked with Good Earth before. Good Earth is a luxury brand based in India, and of course, I understand. I in that working for that brand, I realized the importance of story. Of storytelling. Not everything needs to be purely UI UX. Rule book for one rule book and everything to be followed by that. It is very important for luxury and premium brands to really stand out. And how do they usually do that is basis the, of course, inspiration about the product behind the scenes and the story about it, all of that. So I think my experience there helped with this a lot, and we understood that it is indeed a very important aspect, because the user here is not coming there because they want to buy a watch for their needs. It is an aspirational product. People aspire to be some, like something else, belong to some other group, or associate themselves with a certain segment. That's the target audience for such brands. So that's how we realized that, okay, this could be very important. Another brand that I really admire in this space is Torani. So the marketing campaigns of Torani are amazing. Like, they will talk about um, Babul for launching their bridal collection. They will talk about what are the feelings of a girl when she leaves her father's abode and all of that. Their marketing campaigns will actually take you to those feelings and moments, and that to associate them with the 80s and 90s of the times. And they will create their marketing campaigns will tell that story, like it's a movie in itself, you can you can say that. And of course, subtly, then of course everybody in that will be wearing Turani's latest bridal collection. In that sense, it's amazingly done. I mean, I really love their campaigns. So all of these little brands who are very story focused, we understood that, okay, this brand could also become like one. And now moving forward, this Dan Henry, we are also working on their entire rehaul of their landing website. Not like complete redesign, I know that's a big no no for CRO, but of course we are going to A/B test and see, okay, what is the feel that is best resonated by the users.
That's like a lot of interesting stories you have to tell. I think it's also inspiring. Apart from interesting, it's also pretty inspiring. What do you like predict for the future of CRO over next few years?
I think this auto optimization point that I touched upon earlier, I think this is going to be a game changer, because it will change how we personalize experiences. This will change what we are able to A/B test. This will change how people are finding the products on their website. This will change how people are finding information on the website. So everything related to AI and, of course, personalization.
Yes, like you said, that voice and all that would add up to it. So definitely it will reduce our work. And apart from that, it would make us think in a different corner altogether, because it would be a real game changer. Like, how do we personalize after that once some tools have personalized things?
Exactly, exactly.
So there's one common question that we ask our podcast guests and hear their stories about and find inspiration. I would
Mhm.
ask that to you as well. Like, how do you manage everything? Balancing work, home, life can be tough, especially for women. And how do you think like women can manage it better?
Okay, first of all, it must be different for women in different phases of life. I have a 11-month-old, so it is a completely different story for me versus someone who is not having a kid, or whose kids are much elder, right? Um, yeah, I'm sure it is different for everybody, but if you ask me, so I can openly say that I'm not managing it. It is not it is not happening in the most ideal way as it should be. But what is helping me is always to understand that it is okay. It is okay if, let's say, today, if my baby or my family needs me more, then I will focus there. If tomorrow I'm able to focus more on work, then I'm going to do that. So I'm being lenient on myself, not being too hard on myself, in order to catch up on things here and there whenever it is possible. It is not an equal 50-50 split. It is not a hard bound limit that okay, this is this that 9 to 5 is really the work and outside, and before that is family and all that. It is not possible. It is not practical. But I think just giving myself some grace in terms of okay, whatever needs more attention, I'll tweak the priority according to that, and just be softer to myself, and then of course chasing the other things. So, and also the acceptance that okay, if I'm focusing today on the work, then it should be fine if I have to deprioritize other things. If I'm focusing on one thing, some other thing will be left behind to some extent or the other. So this is the daily struggle of us as especially mothers and mompreneurs, to so to say. But I think it's the acceptance that life is going to be imperfect and it is fine. We just have to keep going.
That's also great to hear about you, that the way you're accepting that, yes, definitely it would not be a 50-50 balance. Like somewhere it would be 20-80 someday, and that's how it should go. So I think that's how it flows actually. If we try to force it 50-50, it becomes difficult. And at the end of the
Exactly.
day, we don't feel satisfied because we were aiming 50-50, and it's not actually going to happen.
Absolutely. And different phases of life will demand a different you. So you have to be open and flexible in terms of, what needs more attention and how we cater to. For example, some days for me are where I do most of my work after my baby's day ends and he goes to sleep after, let's say, 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. But and some days I think that okay, I'll do everything in the day, but it is not possible because my baby woke up sick. So I cannot plan anymore, and I have to be fine with that also, because this is what the life's demand is from me at this point of time. So whatever is best possible from my side, I'm able to do that, and I should be. I think mom guilt is real, and I think I can understand more and more about it now. So it's just that being not so hard on myself is what is working for me, and yeah, everything else will fall into place. If not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then in a few days. But things, everybody should survive. That's it.
Right. Like, exactly. Any final thoughts or like, yes, even before that, I just wanted to know, like, is there any female personality that you admire in this field or in general?
I really admire Kirti Punya. Kirti Punya um, is a, is the founder of Okai. Okai used to be one of the artisanal marketplaces in India, and
Hmm.
now she's building a technology platform, a fashion technology called Relove, etc. I have been following her for a while now, and she also gave birth very recently. She's a new mother as well, and I think I admire her and look up to her for a lot of reasons. Of course, how she is able to do a lot while having a small baby by her side and everything. That's the most resonating aspect, of course, for me at this stage of life. So I think she's the one I really get inspired by.
Any final thoughts or message that you would like to share with our audience?
I think CRO and experimentation, of course, it's all about learning. And one thought that I want to spread is that let's keep focusing on learnings. Many a times businesses will pressure us that okay, what is happening on the revenue side, what is happening on the final conversion rate side. It is an uphill battle for sure, educating and working on the program simultaneously, but this is going to be worth it definitely. So learning comes first.
All right, then I think we had like great conversation so far, Jyoti, and now it's the main time to switch gears and enter our rapid fire round,
Mm-hmm.
where I'll put some quick questions your way, and yes, we'd love to hear your spontaneous responses.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Yes, three apps that you cannot live without.
Quora. I know it sounds cheesy, but Quora is my bedtime pal, and Instagram and Slack.
Oh, nice. If a movie was made about your life, what would that be? The title would be, I mean.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, very interesting question. This needs some bit of thinking, it is not as fast. Okay, wow, very interesting. Touch the sky with glory.
Nice. One thing that you'd like to change about the CRO industry.
Expectation with respect to the returns. It is not ads that can deliver you immediate ROAS. CRO is not a magic wand that we just, use it and your conversion rate doubles up instantaneously. It doesn't happen like that.
It's not a fairy that would come and just like make the world golden.
Yeah.
What's the most random fact that you would know by heart?
Okay, so it might be because of I delivered recently, but when a woman goes through labor, the pain is equivalent to as if her some 200 bones are breaking. I know this is very scary, and I'm okay if you cut this out to show to the public, but yeah, this was on top of my mind. I don't know why.
Not everybody who would be listening would be even aware about that how it goes, because these days people offer another easy option which doesn't let you go through this. So I think at least
Yeah.
those who have gone through would even know that how their mothers or how others who are doing are getting this done this way. What's your guilty pleasure TV show or movie fact?
My guilty pleasure movie show would be Big Bang Theory.
If you had a podcast, who is the first person that you'd invite on the show?
I do have a podcast, by the way, which I have recently started,
Oh,
like called Friday Dialogues. But if it was in my control and I'm pursuing it actively, I would love to have Ron Shah, from the founder of Obvi, as the podcast guest.
three books that you would recommend to our listeners.
Never Eat Alone, Compound Effect for sure, Talk Like Ted.
What is one superpower that you'd like to have?
Oh, wow. One superpower, especially that can help me in my space, would be the art of storytelling for selling. I would love to be a better storyteller and, very fluent language wise, communication wise. I think this could be the best power that anyone could attain, a skill that anyone should be having.
One thing that you're tired of explaining to your clients.
Why the experimentation program is not impacting their average conversion rate.
Yes, and the ROI things.
Yes.
One goal or dream that you'd like to achieve in next 3 years.
Next 3 years, I want to, of course, scale my agency to a great level, have an e-commerce brand of my own, and as well as have a physical eatery or a bakery, kind of a little shop in which I'm able to make no sugar, no refined flour desserts.
Then I would
Hello.
definitely visit that shop. That's interesting. Like one e-commerce platform and one online, one offline store that focuses on today's generation's eating habits, which definitely spoils maximum of our thing and leads to certain chronic disease and kind of stuff.
Exactly. I think this is very important now more than ever, because eating out is so comfortable and so fast and so convenient these days, right? And it is actually impacting all of our health. And yeah, I myself, because now I'm a mother, so I'm now navigating through finding, you know, satisfying my sweet tooth by no sugar options, no white sugar options. So yeah, I think it is very. I'm definitely going to do something about it.
That's interesting. And definitely will let us know once you start so that we can hop.
Of course.
Thanks for all your insights and for the wonderful rapid fire round. It was great speaking to you as well. And
Thank you, Jinal.